Good afternoon from Ankeny High School and Dick Rasmussen Field. It's home of the Hawkettes. It's softball tonight on the Ankeny Activities Network and also CISN. Hello everybody, along with Andy Pollock. I'm Paul Yeager. Glad to have you here on this Monday afternoon. High sun, 86 degrees, feels like 90, slight breeze out of the south-southwest, but we are in summer mode and we are also on senior night tonight, as two Ankeny seniors will be in the starting lineup here tonight. And for Valley, one, and it's a good one. Mackenzie Moeller is one of the best hitters in the state, and she leads things off for Valley. We'll meet the lineups in just a moment, but these two teams are getting ready for the postseason. Valley's coming off back-to-back losses, but to two really good teams. They lost to Centennial last week 8-6, and Southeast Polk, who's had a very good campaign. That was a close one. Before that, they'd won 8 straight, 2 against Dowling, 2 against Waukee, won a road game against West Liberty and Muscatine in the Rick Doran Classic, beat Bettendorf and Central Lee before dropping a pair to Northwest back on the 25th of June. We're getting towards the end of the season, really. There's just a doubleheader tonight, game against Fort Dodge, and then it's playoffs for the Valley Tigers. For the Ankeny Hawks, well, it's been a little different campaign. They've dropped 5 in a row: North Polk, ADM, Waukee, Northwest, Southeast Polk, and the second game against Dowling before they had won back on the last day of June last week. They beat Dowling 2-1. They've lost to Fort Dodge, Mount Vernon, and Xavier, and Xavier and Mount Vernon easily could be playing for state championships here in a couple of weeks in Fort Dodge. But now let's go meet the starting lineups tonight as we get you ready for softball's action here on this exciting game between Valley and Ankeny. Let's meet the teams.
And your Ankeny Hawkettes. Let's introduce tonight's starting lineups. First for the Tigers. Leading off, the shortstop, number 27, Mackenzie Moeller. Batting second at second, number 1, Terry Rose. Hitting third, number 8, at third base, Abby Ballard. The catcher, in the cleanup spot, number 3, Ilsa Hervey. Batting fifth, wearing number 22, the designated player, Lily Finn.
For PA?
Yeah.
Hitting sixth, the left fielder, number 9, Drew Cooley. Batting seventh, center fielder, number 4, Press Rimick. Hitting eighth, the first baseman, number 17, Mara Hart. And batting ninth, the pitcher, number 12, Maddie Zvolky. And in right field, number 5, Jordan Huffman. Tom Bakey is the head coach for the Tigers.
They asked to turn the PA up. They can't hear it. The girls can't hear it. Thank you.
And now, here are the starters for your Ankeny Hawkettes. Leading off, the left fielder, number 17, Morgan Fisher. Batting second, wearing number 1, the center fielder, Avery Nelson. Hitting third, the third baseman, number 19, Kaylin Miller. In the cleanup spot, the designated player, number 8, Sarah Munger. In the 5-hole, the pitcher, number 7, Aubrey Linsmeyer. Batting sixth, number 20, the shortstop, Tinley Heidemann. Batting seventh, second baseman, number 13, Autumn Linen. In the 8th spot, the catcher, number 29, Madison Myers. And patrolling in right field, number 11, Briley Pye. Your first baseman, number 15, Emerson Hutchins. Sarah Saladino is your head coach. And now, to honor America and those who have served along
My real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny Hawks mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. And as a realtor, I know that our schools are one of the main reasons people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a proud supporter. I've been helping Ankeny families for over 20 years, and if you or anyone you know needs help finding the perfect home, let's talk. But first, go Hawks.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic.
Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic.
But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. US Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Garage Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching, we have the best technology, we have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
All right, there you go. You've got your lineups, you've got your uniforms, and everybody is dressed and ready to go. The Valley Tigers in the all-white uniforms and orange pinstripes with orange high socks and orange belt numbers. In orange trimmed in black, the Hawkettes in their new bowls with maroon numbers. As they get ready to come out to the field, our two umpires tonight, Paul Bird and Joe behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Balls and strikes, Joe Havenhill, Andy Pollock with us now. Andy, Valley, this is a team, Tom Bakey might not think his team, he thinks they're pretty good. They could easily be playing on the last game of the season here as we get close to the end of the regular season. The postseason is right around the corner. I like Valley just as much as anybody else.
Valley hits the ball as good as anybody in the state. You see it up and down their lineup. Mackenzie Moeller, she usually bats in the leadoff spot, and she will. She's an issue for a lot of teams, not only in the CIML but in the state. Second in home runs in Class 5A and bats over 500. She is a delight to watch, and you have to be in control of where your pitches go when Mackenzie Moeller.
Her slugging percentage is what gets me, 1.108. That's normally in the 300 to 500 range for a good player. She'll step in, she put in, it's a lot of fear into everybody. She's only struck out 4 times this season, 17 home runs. It'll be Moeller, Rose, Ballard, Hervey, Finn, Cooley, Remick, Hart, and Zlomke who will bat. And then there is a flex DP as well. For Ankeny's defense, they'll put Morgan Fisher in left, Avery Nelson in center, Briley Bach in right. Around the infield, Kaylin Miller, Tenley Heidemann, Autumn Leinen, and Emerson Hutchins. With your battery of Aubrey Lensmeyer and Madison Myers. We are so close to having first pitch.
Lensmeyer to Myers, the battery for the Hawkettes.
Lensmeyer is 8-12 on the season with an ERA of 3.23. She's struck on 108 as she looks to come here on senior night and have a good night. That is what everybody wants to do in this one. Doubleheader, game 1, ready to go as we throw down to second. They'll meet in the middle, and then that'll bring in Mackenzie Moeller to lead things off here. She'll bat. Moeller will step in from the right side, and she has put fear, as Andy said, puts fear in a lot of teams. She'll step in from the right side.
The shortstop, number 27, Mackenzie Moeller.
First pitch at 5:06 is a ball. When really the flag has died down completely, every once in a while it might dance just a little bit, and that pitch is low. Don't look for Moeller to get too much to hit as they nibble around the corner. She's been walked a bunch, but some hitters can make you pay on a mistake. The pitch. is hit high in the air towards left, going back, looking up at the track, and watching it go over her head. That's a home run for Mackenzie Moeller on the 2-0 pitch, 1-0 Valley.
Moeller with the round trip.
Well, that makes 18 on the season for Moeller. Morgan Fisher went back and just ran out of real estate. That ball not much more than the 200.
Number 1, Carrie Rose.
That'll bring in the junior. Carrie Rose bats from the left side. On the season, a .373 hitter. Her team up 1-0. Not the first time, probably not the last time she'll bat this season in this situation where it's 1-0 because of something Moeller just did. The 1-0 is high. So Lensmeyer has thrown 4 balls and 1 strike. The 1 strike was a home run.
As they are a lot when you throw a strike against Mackenzie Moeller.
That one misses to the outside, and it'll go 3-0.
Valley, a type of team that, with Moeller batting leadoff, it changes up a little bit about what they want to do. Obviously, you love scoring the run early, and I've seen that multiple times this year that she's led off a game with a home run. But then when they get the next part of their order, the speed on the bases, they will do about whatever necessary to move those runners around, make it happen, and they are a team that creates a lot of havoc on the base paths.
Rose is a strike away, or a ball away from reaching. Now she fouls it away to even up, or to make it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rose bats from the left side. Good 2-sport athlete for the Tigers. See her in basketball, now here in softball.
Watch her play for Drake here in a couple of years, just a junior still.
Fouls
She's
that one into the screen.
Been in this lineup for a long time for the Tigers.
And now with her dad on the retired side of things.
He's still walking around wiping the sweat off his brow with a big old towel. I saw him earlier.
The 3-2. Hit on the ground, deep towards Heidemann in the hole. No chance to get a Speedy Rose down the line, and that's an infield hit.
Yeah, that ball was just perfectly placed. It was almost like Rose, as she swung, just guided the ball right to the opening there and snuck it through that little 5.5 gap. And, you know, Heidemann made as good a play as you can possibly make, but you are not going to make that throw against a speedster like Rose.
So Addie Ballard, another junior to bat. Look at this Tiger lineup. Not a lot of seniors, but a lot of success. Had to overcome a couple of players not coming back from that team last year that they were maybe expecting. And it's been a growing process for this team. I think they've grown quite well.
Well, their youth has grown up having a lot of success at the club level over and over again. You know, a bunch of juniors on this team, a couple sophomores that have experienced a lot of success at a high level growing up, and now it's their chance to shine. You know, a lot of these girls played on their team a year ago, their runner-up team a year ago.
I'm chuckling, swing and a miss, the throw down to second. Heidemann goes off her glove into center. Nelson gets it. I'm laughing because of that championship game last year. The game that, man, you want to talk about a 5A game that never ends. Lots of momentum swings in that one. Lots of runs.
Very similar to the state championship in football this last year that Valley was in with Southeast Polk. Just several different times you thought that one team had it won, only for another team to come back and change things up immensely.
Tom Bakey, an assistant for Gary Swenson on the football team.
Not going to call him old, but we'll just say long time. He's been around a long time.
2 veteran coaches there.
Couple of the best, for sure.
The pitch is check swing, foul into the batting cage area down the right field line, and we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rose at second after a walk and a stolen base. As Lensmeyer goes in front of the dugout to get a game ball and gets one now.
Ballard, no stranger to the long ball either this year. She's got 7 of them on the season. You don't want to leave anything too far over the plate. This is a Valley team that puts up a lot of runs over the course of a season, and They are, talked about Moeller, but Ballard's been right there in that number 3 spot.
Off-speed pitch misses. It's full. 3-2. The pitch is fouled away towards baseball, where a game going on over there as well that you can watch on the Ankeny Activities.
Yep, we've got Nick Menson over there calling the game, student at Iowa State here tonight, working some baseball for us. Nick's been great to help fill in throughout the course of the year.
Wastes another one, 3-2, almost the exact same fouled off spot.
Lensmeyer keeps working low and away, and that's what she's working to get that pitch pushed out to right field. But as she sits there right now, she's toying with that edge of the plate on a full count. Just very careful not to put a couple on right now.
The pitch to Ballard. Hit up the middle. That's going to hang up enough for Nelson to make the catch and Rose to tag up to third.
Nelson has it measured.
Watch Rose. She tagged that up perfectly, went back and hit the base right as it was being caught by Nelson out there in center field, and that was a great strike from Ballard, but Nelson sending her back to the right field side. Going to be very tough for the lefty to make the play over at third base as she tried to wheel around and do it.
So Ballard's gone on the fly out to center, one away here in the Valley first. They've already scored a run. They have a runner at third. That's Rose. Hervey lays the bunt down 3 feet in front of the plate, and there is no play anywhere. Rose scores easily, 2-0 Tigers.
The defense had everybody coming in there and just really no chance, because you saw Maddie Myers go out to try to pick it up, and they had a squeeze on. Coming home was Rose the entire time. A little suicide squeeze. That was about as good as you can possibly play that.
So Hervey will go down to first on the infield hit and an RBI. Coach Bakey goes to the home plate to review lineup cards, make sure they have Lily Finn courtesy runners, who we have down here.
Danae Epps came in, speedy freshman. Then you come up with a player like Lily Finn, who has 3 home runs on the season. Just so many batters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different Valley hitters have home runs on the season. That's an incredible stat. Including Moeller, who now has 18 after her leadoff home run tonight.
Finn looks at a ball low, 2-0 now. The pitch from Lensmeyer. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second is going to be just behind the sliding Epps, who's in there with a stolen base.
Epps got a really good jump on that ball. She was going to be safe by a lot as she came in. Seen her run several times throughout the course of the year. Always a threat to steal.
So Finn is a base hit away from giving her team a 3-0 lead. Let's see what she gets here on 2-1. It's low, stopped by Myers.
Lensmeyer working everything low in the zone tonight, trying to get a couple ground balls out of this Valley lineup. Big infield behind her at the moment.
Finn, just a sophomore. Looks at a ball inside, and she's on with a 1-out walk.
Lensmeyer doesn't walk a whole lot. Going to draw a little attention here, bring in Myers to talk a little bit about how they want to handle things with runners at first and second. A couple seniors discussing things right now. Celebrating senior night tonight. We'll have it in between games. We'll do that, which I like, rather than having it. Seen several places they'll have it half hour, 20 minutes before the game with just the parents that are in the stands. Yeah. Good crowd, though, here tonight. Really good crowd to celebrate. A really nice senior class here for Coach Saladino.
The first pitch to Drew Cooley is low for a ball.
Talk about Lensmeyer and Kaylin Miller, Kayla Fox, Lauren Fisher, Maddie Myers.
And that pitch is a strike from Lensmeyer. Even it up at a ball and a strike. Drew Cooley bats. Epps at second is the courtesy runner for Hervey. Finn drew a walk, swing through it, and missing it is Cooley. And Lensmeyer is finally ahead of a batter here. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I like the inside movement of the pitch. She's been working everything away, 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 and decides to come back inside in on the hands and caught her off guard.
That pitch catches the corner, and that's a strike 3. Cooley down for out number 2.
In the 5 years Aubrey Lensmeyer has been pitching on the varsity, she's made a living off that fastball. It's not an overpowering fastball, but she throws so much junk that eventually when that fastball comes in, it makes it look like it's hopping a bunch, and that's exactly what she did there and got the first punch out for her tonight.
Well, I was looking at Lensmeyer. I mean, 108 strikeouts, now 109. And the throw down to third is going to get by. They'll throw home. It's cut off. It gets away from the catcher, and now Finn is going to go to third. So Epps scores. Little throwing it around. And
well, it's so hard.
Catch.
Yeah, so hard because you got Heidemann coming over from shortstop, and it was kind of a delayed steal. It didn't really look like it was a straight steal, and Heidemann not getting a clean break over there as well, and just really no one to cover the base at third.
And Remick misses.
Remick, another one of those players that she's a speedster. When she gets the ball on the ground, she can get down to first base in a hurry. She's been a part of this lineup for a long time as well for Coach Bakey.
Swings and misses. And that ends the inning. Not before the Tigers score 3. 1 on a home run. And then the old-fashioned way, a walk, a couple of stolen bases, and a sacrifice. 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the first.
Strikeout. Aubrey has just hit 3.
Our phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic.
Don't you think? Oh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
What if you could create memories that would last a lifetime? That would be pretty cool. Well, now you can.
All the pets in Ankeny can't wait to see us at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital. Located just south of Uptown, our family-owned and operated practice has yearly plans with monthly...
Fielder number 17, Morgan Fisher.
Morgan Fisher to lead things off for the Hawkettes, who trail 3-0 here. Valley and Ankeny on this Monday afternoon, which will become evening and night. First pitch to Fisher is a strike.
Reminds me, looking out there, your kids ever play blast ball?
Why don't you ask him?
Yeah, it's true. He's right there. You ever play blast ball growing up? You know what I'm talking about? Where like everybody stands around the infield. Look at this Valley infield right now as you take a peek at things. They're all over the place, and now we've got
a softball came onto the field.
From the there we go.
Over from the bullpen.
But look at if you get a shot, Levi, I don't know if you have a chance to get a shot of the infield right now. If you can see it, just where everybody's at out there, it is. It kind of looks like blast ball right now. And Fisher is a speedster. I mean, if you're at your normal depth and Fisher gets it on the ground, you got no shot whatsoever of getting her out. She is an elite track talent, not just in the state of Iowa, but in the country. Traveling out to Oregon to run in that the Nike championships out there with Coach Jumper.
The pitch is hit towards short. Moeller up with it and over and gets her by a quarter of a step.
You see how close that is with the shortstop playing right beside the pitcher. I mean, that's exactly why if you're back even another step, Fisher is easily in there safe at first.
Number 1, Avery Nelson.
The junior Nelson, who's playing center, made a play in that defensive side, now trying to get things going from the left side, runs up on it and watches it go by for a ball.
Nelson, player here in her junior year, reopened her recruitment. She had committed to Creighton very early on and has recently reopened it. So the slapper, very speedy slapper, and one of those players, again, we talked about how Valley can create havoc on the base paths, but Nelson, one of those players as well. When she gets out there, she just kind of toys around with you like a cat playing with a ball of yarn. She just plays all in the bases and makes it really tough on defenses.
The pitch from the lefty Zlumke is out. 2 balls and a strike. Maddie, 17-4 on the season, struck out 68. Her ERA is 2.15. And with hitters, she's a 1.56, and that one is fouled down the third base line right in front of Coach Saladino.
Will be interesting to see as Coach Sal continues to get her foothold on this Ankeny program here in her first year. If the slapping continues, I mean, this has always been a team that come up there with more lefties than any other team that you'll see, and be curious to see if that development of the slappers continues or if they elect to go with more of a power look.
That one's hit again at Moeller over to get Nelson.
Moeller will handle it.
That was a little harder play for Moeller, but she still got her by half a step.
Just zero margin for error whatsoever. You have to know what you're doing to the ball the second it gets to you, and obviously with nobody on, it makes it a little bit easier to make those decisions. But so impressed with Moeller in that shortstop spot this year as she had to take it over with some losses there for different reasons, and she has been really a bright spot, not just for Valley to watch, but really all around Central Iowa. She has been one of the more fun players to keep an eye on throughout the course of this season.
Miller on the 0-1 fouls it up just over our heads behind home, and in behind where you talked about senior night, there's a whole lot of chalk on the pavement between softball and baseball here at Ankeny High School, and
all decorated up right. I had a chance to catch up with Ryan Lensmeyer real quick before the game.
Well hit to left, but it's going to be in the park, and the catch is made by Drew Cooley, and the Hawkettes go
Right
1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the second. Valley leads 3-0.
It is 3.
My real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny Hawks mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. And as a realtor, I know that our schools are one of the main reasons people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a proud supporter. I've been helping Ankeny families for over 20 years, and if you or anyone you know needs help finding the perfect home, let's talk. But first, go Hawks.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic.
Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic.
But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. US Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam.
Ugh, and I'm already late.
In the top of the second for the Tigers, the first baseman, number 17, Mara Hart.
8-9-1 up for the Tigers here in the top of the second. They lead 3-0. Mara Hart, Maddie Zlomke, and Mackenzie Moeller. Aubrey Lensmeyer would like to face that third hitter with the bases empty, and she starts off with the strike to Hart.
Earlier in the week, or I guess at the end of last week, I was watching Centennial play Valley when the Tigers were up here, and it was this bottom part of the order that turned things over and did a really nice job of keeping some things alive.
Popped in the foul area, and it does continue to drift and head into the bullpen. We'll do it again. That was the game where it was what you wear black and we wear black.
Yes.
Good luck figuring out who's who.
Black, not just black pinstripes with the same script on the front. It was very difficult if you didn't know some of the faces.
That pitch is low from Lensmeyer, a ball and 2 strikes. We've seen that at State a few times where...
It's the only sport, Paul.
Yeah, I think I can think of... It was Central Springs, like West Lyon, so they were both blue. Popped up on the infield. It's going to be a tough play, but Myers in front of her makes the grab.
brings
Myers
up
did a good
Virginia
job eluding the
one
bat
away.
that was sitting there as well. That could have been really, really bad, but she kind of sidestepped it and got there. Didn't know for sure if she got a beat on it, but you saw her shoot out of that catcher position. As soon as she saw where it was, you saw her shoot out of there like a rocket and make the play.
So the pitcher, the sophomore, Maddie Zlomke to bat from the left side, one away here in the second. That pitch misses. And I think that Central Springs West Line game, they were both the same blue and black. So it wasn't even, I mean, Valley and Centennial have a little bit of orange.
There's a hint of orange in there, yes.
There's a hint of orange in those black, but man, it's gray. And yeah, the only sport that you can do that is there.
Yep.
Maybe that's something we need to talk to Aaron Gerlich about.
I think I would love to see like home team wears dark and visiting team wears white or something of that nature. But yeah, we've seen it happen a bunch where teams show up and they're both in the same color scheme. Earlier this year, Dowling showed up here to play, and Dowling and Ankeny had the same uniforms on. So made it. If you were just tuning in, you really had no idea where things were.
And it wasn't because of the play-by-play. The 2-1 is outside.
There's could be a multitude of reasons why they didn't know who was doing what.
You opened the door. I had to go through. I may have been off for a week, but I can still hit. The 3-1 coming from Lensmeyer is a strike. Joe Havenhill puts the right hand up.
Talked about State. We'll see Joe up at State again, I'm sure, in a couple weeks.
Would think so. Yeah, him and Paul Bird, both staples up there. I won't say new generation, but that next generation. Chopper towards Linen, over to first, and Hutchins grabs it for out one.
Linen calmly makes that play from second base, and again, another one of those young players in this lineup. As she's just a sophomore, this infield is not old right now for Coach Saladino. In fact, you know, Emmy Hutchins there, an 8th grader playing first base, Linen a sophomore, and talked about Heidemann over there at shortstop, a freshman.
And the thing will be on a season that it has kind of gone like it has 11-25 for Ankeny is to keep that youth involved and keep them focused on what you're trying to accomplish as you start to put your fingerprints on this program, and that is going to be this hard thing as you look towards the end of the season. I mean, there's really no guarantees after this week.
Yeah, you're already looking at Saturday as the Hawkettes travel up and play at Ames.
Valley will play one more game this week before their tournament trail starts, and that pitch is low, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Moeller.
That was the intentional walk there to Moeller, just giving her nothing good at all. As
second baseman, number 1.
2 outs, you'll easily move on and take your chances with a couple really nice hitters as well. But when you look at Moeller compared to everybody else, it's just a different level right now. Moeller and Centennial's Jordan Kennedy have gone back and forth in 5A home run leads as 5A home run leaders all year. And look at Moeller.
The throw down to second, that was in time, just in front of where the tag needed to be, and Moeller swipes a bag. So not only can she hit, she can run.
Valley very aggressive on the base paths. Moeller is 5 out of 6 coming into the game, stealing bases this year. Saw something she liked, and I don't know if she might have that green light, I would imagine.
Now she's in scoring position. The 1-0 with 2 outs is a strike. Rose in her last at-bat had a single and eventually came around to score. Rose from the left side looks at Lensmeyer. The 1-1 pitch coming with 2 away. And that misses.
Mentioned earlier, Rose will play her future college ball at Drake. A Bulldog down there. They got a great local class incoming in the class of 26. Some really good talent from right here in Central Iowa. That'll bring a lot of fans, I think, to Bulldog games as well.
The 2-1 is a called strike. And the football team has kind of gone in that direction, too, and their new coach.
Coach Woodley has come in, and you know, he's got a lot of local guys as well, came from Grandview, and they did a good job kind of taking over the metro area.
That one's chopped up the middle, going to be past Heidemann into center field. Here comes the throw home in time, but the tag's actually not applied. It was just the glove. Ball was still in the right hand. as Moeller comes around to score, and it's 4-0.
Moeller never slowed down coming around third base, and actually the throw was pretty well on target. They did have the delayed dead ball call out there on Myers for blocking the plate, so either way she was going to be called safe, but that ball just died. The grass is a lot thicker this time of year than it normally is at this point in July. We have had beautiful growing conditions in central Iowa and really all over the state of Iowa. I had a chance to go back home to northeast Iowa over the 4th, and Paul, you're from up there as well, and that corn, wow, it is something else right now. And I know when you moonlight as an ag guy, but
well, the corn report this afternoon put it one of the greatest rated corn crops that we've had in the 2000s.
I believe it. It looked incredible. There was silk already coming out of corn at my mother-in-law's house, so.
Hit towards right, and it's going to get off the glove of Bach and roll into foul territory, but it's a fair ball and allowing Rose to score.
That's such a hard play to make for a left fielder because you've got that ball. It comes off the end of your bat, and it's always tailing for a right fielder, and the ball is always tailing away out from the right-handed hitters, and just makes it so hard to field. And Bach, came right in on it, got a glove on it, but just as that ball, it's spinning out of your glove as well, makes it very difficult to make that play.
So Ballard's in at second, Ballard's in at second. And now the cleanup hitter, Hervé, bats.
And Ilsa's got 4 home runs on the season, and again, just a balanced lineup. It's easy to look at what Moeller's done and be like, yeah, she's it. But, man, this lineup all the way through they produce. And you look at the averages, you look at the RBIs hit in. So many girls with double-digit runs batted in this season.
That pitch gets away from Myers as it just kept climbing the ladder. And that allows Ballard to scoot on down to third. So she is that much closer to scoring. 2 outs, though. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch from Lensmeyer to Hervé. Hervé, swing and a miss, but it is ticked. So she'll stay alive on the foul ball. The 1-2 again. Fouled off to the left side and out of play.
Lensmeyer keeps going away, away, away. I'd be really expecting something in tight on the hands right now. You don't want to give it right there over the plate, but something on Hervé's knuckles.
She laid down a great bunt in her last at-bat that allowed a run to score. So far she's been swinging away here with 2 outs.
The old 2-2-2 magic ball coming up now. Second inning, we had a lot of 2s up there.
Lensmeyer's pitch just misses.
One of the things is you look at the makeup of this Ankeny team and the youth, real easy to look past. So the leadership that Maddie Myers is in that catcher spot brings a lot of energy to everything going on. It's weird. She brings an energy, but also the first one out there to calm anybody down as things go wrong. So she's been a lot of fun to watch catch. Spot duty a year ago, really got to take over that role this year, and one of those players that you're really glad she stuck around for the whole time, because not everybody does in a sport like softball where it takes up your summers.
Well, the one she split time with catching just walked into the stands there, Ava Tomlinson
and Cassie Johnson,
who has now committed to Minnesota.
Minnesota, yes. Was at Texas Tech. What a heck of a year to be a Red Raider down there, but entered the portal after the season, and she will be going up to be a Golden Gopher along with Centennial hitter Jordan Kennedy.
Heidemann on the line drive, catches and ends the inning, but not before the Tigers push 2 more across. They take a 5-0 lead. They leave 1 as we go to the bottom of the second. Due up for the Hawkettes, 4, 5, and 6 here on the Ankeny Activities Network.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic, don't you think?
Oh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
What if you could create memories that would last a lifetime? That would be pretty cool. Well, now you can.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Sarah Munger, Aubrey Lensmeyer, and Tenley Heidemann do up here for the Ankeny Hawkettes as they trail 5-0 here in the bottom of the second. Ankeny and Valley in the CIML.
It's the designated players.
Munger, more of that youth that we talk about, is played a little bit around the outfield throughout the course of the year, but comes from good stock in the softball world. Mom and aunt both played Division I softball. I think she's going to be a good one down the road. In fact, Aunt Amber is down coaching for the Urbandale Jayhawks tonight against Centennial. They will play twice tonight and then again on Saturday in the tournament, so I don't think anybody is tipping off too much tonight in that game.
And it won't matter what the outcome is, as the seedings are already set. So really, it's, yeah, you might see some two obscure pitchers in that one.
Yeah, that Urbandale has been a team that, you know, they're young again this year, but they battle everybody hard. It feels like the MO for Urbandale is they kind of get behind a little bit early and then they battle back and get back in the game and just keep everybody uncomfortable. It's not showing up in the wins column right now, but I think that's a team that has potential down the road to really play spoiler against somebody in the tournament. And if you're a Jaguar fan, that's very unfortunate because they sit there ready for you on Saturday.
2 balls and a strike to Munger. And that one misses. Yep, come Saturday, so teams do get just a couple of those, you can call them tune-up games, but for some of those teams that might not have a postseason, it's still a chance to try to be at your sharpest when the tournament starts. And Munger is able to hold off, and she draws a leadoff walk.
Good eye from Munger there as a chance to move some people around on the base paths, and Lensmeyer to really help her own cause right now. And Lensmeyer, you know, future Division I softball player as well, a Yote up in South Dakota, and her bat is just a bigger reason for why they've got her coming up there, as well as her pitching.
That first pitch from Zlomke is out.
Ankeny, like we mentioned, heads up to take on Ames out of the Alliance Conference. They'll play on Saturday night at 7 o'clock at Ames. And then things don't get any easier after that if they were to win, because they'd have to take on Southeast Polk to go to state. And Southeast Polk having an outstanding year, 26-9, and they're right up there at the top of the CIML. I don't think they've got swept by anybody and won several series this year in that now 3-game series that everybody's playing in the CIML.
Tom Bakey out with his oversized clipboard. Doesn't leave it in the dugout. He takes it with him.
That looks more like a cutting board than a clipboard. How heavy you think that thing is?
I don't think you or I are ever going to get to touch that to find out how heavy it is.
It's like about 4 clipboards molded together.
I think of all the softball he has seen, been a part of, whether as a player, as a coach, just knows the game, the 1-0.
And he works the mental aspect just as much as the physical with everybody. Is, you know, he comes out, takes a little break there, and immediately gets a strike back there from Zlomke. But, you know, he knows how to work the officials.
Well, I think that's what you were, a nice off-speed pitch. I was going to say, I was thinking you were dancing around saying what's there, is that he does get in the head of some coaches.
Oh, big time.
And
Big time, yep.
You know, he will take time. He will use every part of the law or the rules allow that pitch is fouled back into the screen.
I'm not sure many umpires in the state know the rule book better than Tom Bakey knows the rule book, and he used those to his advantage. And it's really kind of a master class in gamesmanship when he's out coaching game. You always wonder when you're coming to call a Valley game, what's going to happen tonight?
Fouled back again, this time a little more to the right side as it'll stay 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just want to be like, did you plan that tonight?
And he wouldn't tell you if he was.
Correct. He always keeps things close to the vest. A great guy to chat with.
Off the hands, that's going to drop down into left field in front of Cooley, and that's going to be the 2 leadoff runners. Lensmeyer joins Munger on the bases.
Yeah, drops it right in that 6-7 gap over the shortstop. One of those that in the cage, it doesn't look fancy at all, but it found the gap for sure. I think we're going to get a substitution here for Lensmeyer, who wants to stay out at first. It looks like
right?
she'd prefer to run.
She has no coming in to run. Yeah, that's who I thought it was. It's Kayla Fox.
Lauren Fisher. There we go. Yeah, Lauren Fisher.
I read 22. Running in first base. I didn't say my eyes were in sharp. Lauren Fisher will run. The pitch is off the plate for a ball. As Fisher down on the right side, so Heidemann with a chance to put the Hawks back in this contest here. They trail 5-0 in the second. Nobody out. The pitch from Zlomke. It's ripped to left. That's going to get over the head of Cooley. 1 run's going to score. Here comes Munger. Chugging around is Fisher. She'll go into third. Slide the play. Safe. And it's an RBI double for Tenley Heidemann.
Ankeny's really got things cooking right now. They've started to find some gaps right now, and Zlomke's little drop change not fooling the Hawkettes as much anymore. Some really nice things happening at the plate right now for the Hawkettes. And now you have a chance to get into that with a speedster like Lina. You have a chance to maybe put one on the ground and really create some more havoc on the base paths.
So Heidemann goes down to second, Fisher at third here against Zlomke. That pitch goes wide of the catcher. So a little bit of life here. When you just kept putting runners on and runs on the board, you go 5, 7, 9. It tends to lose your focus on a warm afternoon, but the Hawks coming back. They get one here. They still have nobody out. The pitch.
Tigers need an out right now.
Throw down to second. Will allow Heidemann to slide back and get her jersey dirty.
That had to be called ahead of time, I would think. You don't just randomly throw down there, especially with the runner on third. Yeah, infield all the way in, all the way around right now for Heidemann.
The 2-0 is a called strike to Linen.
Linen, sorry, yes.
Madison Myers on deck. 1 on, or 1 in, 2 on here in the second. The pitch. Hit in the air towards center. Remick goes back deep enough. Should get a run home. Coming in to touch the plate and score the Hawks' second run is Fisher.
Great piece of situational hitting there from Linen. Getting that thing opposite field, making your center fielder have to go to her right, or to the right field side to make that play. Got it up in the air, got it to the outfield, and perfect piece of situational hitting, puts another run across, and now you're right back in this game as a Hawkette.
So Linen with the RBI and the sacrifice fly, and it's a ground ball. First pitch hit by Myers. To keep the runner, Heidemann in place, and a nice gun down from Ballard to Hart.
2 down.
Ballard, again, just played that perfectly there. Looked the runner back, threw it across the first. And a lot of times that look back on the runner is fine, but then it throws you off a little bit on your throw to first. And she did a nice job of maintaining her composure there and making a perfect strike thrown over to first base.
It's up to Briley Bach here with 2 outs and a runner at third. 5-2 Valley. Swung on, lifted, foul, and out of play. Let's go back to Ballard there for a minute, Andy, because she did do a good hard look and then an even harder throw across the field.
Ballard, you saw the strength in her arm. It was all arm as she threw it too, put that dart right on the money.
The 0-1 from Zlomke. Lifted again, left side. This one, though, is going to be out of the reach of Ballard. Right there in the front of the Ankeny dugout. And it was going away from her, and it was right in that triangle of trouble.
Yeah, that Bermuda triangle there as it was drifting foul. And one of those things, if that fence is a little bit further away, it's probably a catch that can be made, but you always have that fence in the back of your head as you're working your way towards that Ankeny dugout.
The 0-2 to Bach. Squirts away from the catcher.
Bach, another one of the freshmen in the lineup this year. This could be an Ankeny team that'll be very tough to deal with for years to come.
The 1-2. Misses again. Infield still in on the corners. A little bit deeper up the middle. Rose playing at a regular depth, but even with the line is Moeller. The pitch. Lifted again towards Remick. She'll make the grab and end the inning, but the Hawkettes score 2 to pull it in to a 5-2 game. We've played 2 full innings. We go to the third on the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Daniel Seifert Real Estate Team.
My real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny Hawks mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. And as a realtor, I know that our schools are one of the main reasons people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a proud supporter. I've been helping Ankeny families for over 20 years, and if you or anyone you know needs help finding the perfect home, let's talk. But first, go Hawks.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic.
Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic.
But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. US Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
At the plate for the Tigers, the designated player, number 22, Lily Finn.
Finn, Drew Cooley, and Press Remick do up for the Tigers. They saw their 5-0 lead shrink a little bit in that second inning as Ankeny pushes across 2. Valley still in control, 5-2 as we go to the third inning, the first pitch. From Aubrey Lensmeyer is a ball. Finn in her last at-bat walked back in the first.
That last inning really good for the confidence for a Hawkette team that the runs have not always been easy to come by this year, but when you can put up it was a great start to the inning. The leadoff walk just kind of led to some good things happening, and I think that confidence, you're going to see that build throughout the course of this game because Zlomke's not the easiest pitcher to time up, and there's some really strong contacts made off her in the circle.
The pitch is missed again. If you look at Ankeny's schedule and you look at their losses, okay, so Kennedy 14-0, but really nothing more. Okay, North Polk 12-0. Okay, they lost to Centennial 12-0. But other than that, Andy.
No, I mean, when
really
you're playing 40 games, you're going to have games that don't always, yeah.
And it's a 4-pitch walk for Finn to start the third. No, and that's the thing with 11 and 25. Yes, you are going to have some of those. I mean, that night against Centennial, that was, I think Coach would tell you for Centennial, Delaney was over the moon with that game and kind of set the tone for the rest of their season. And Kennedy could easily be playing at state.
I would expect him to be, yeah.
On the last day as well. North Polk, same thing. I mean, those are 3 great teams.
Running at first base.
Just had a chance to be up at North Polk earlier today is checking out their new facilities, running a football camp up there this morning, and they I just continue to be impressed. And they've got all the space in the world up there to deal with out in the middle of a cornfield. But, man, what they have put together for facilities up in Alleman, that is impressive. The new baseball and softball complex, all turf.
Bunt is laid down. Fielded throw to first is high, but they're going to say out as Cooley moves the runner.
I think we're actually going to have a situation here. She got called out right away. I think the runner's going to have to go back because I think it hit her as she came out of the box. And if it did, then that's a dead ball, and the runner will have to go back as well. So
they are. That's exactly what they are going to say, because when you watch that play at first, it sure looked like that Leinen might have been off the bag when Cooley stepped on the
okay, well, Cooley will get another chance because they said she was in the box when it hit her. So, all right.
It's a foul ball. Okay.
Didn't realize that.
Take away the sack off the score sheet. We'll do it again here, 0-1. You know what she's going to do. She lays the bunt down. This one foul.
Love that location that Lensmeyer came back to. You know the bunt is coming. You just make it impossible to hit it. Now it really takes it out of the equation right now on 0-2. Oh, 1-2, okay.
So Cooley at the plate lays the bunt, but she is out since she had 2 strikes. So that's a strikeout. Can't get the runner to move. And out number 1 recorded.
Well, that made a liar out of me. I thought for sure it had taken the bunt out of the equation, but the drop ball coming in from Lensmeyer just dropped right underneath the bat as it came home. And now Coach Bakey wants to discuss the 1-2 bunt, but I don't know how you don't call that a bunt, or how you don't call her out on that.
Conversation is short. Back to our regular positions. And it'll be up now at the plate, Press Remick. That one's hit foul and just over and on top of our heads.
Probably heard the thunk. Reminder that's a time to call Big Roofing here for the roof on top of us, but also if you have any roofing needs down the road. Steve, a old Hawk, he likes to claim that he was a good baseball player back in the day, and I've not had anybody confirm or deny that. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly how good Steve Bigler was, but he's got a company, Big Roofing, here in town, and you will not find a better place to get your roofing or siding done, gutters, they do it all. So the big ones at Big Roofing.
That one sails out, 1-2.
I love that pitch from Lensmeyer. It looks where it hits the glove. It looks like she just threw it away. But that ball was tailing away as well. You're trying to get inducing the swing on the outside corner. That was tailing away hard.
Hutchins in on the corner, and that one again off the plate to the outside, and it's the second strikeout, 5th of the game. 302 on Lensmeyer's career.
First baseman, number 17, Mara.
She's been a good one down here for Coach Bingham and then for Coach Saladino. Got to know Aubrey really well growing up. Played club ball with my daughter as well. She was really good back in the day with the Ankeny girls softball. One of those players that early on, she, again, kind of similar to now, the fastball is fast enough, but she mastered so many different pitches early on that you just could never time her up.
That one's hit solidly, but not enough to find fair territory as it's foul behind Miller there at third. Pitching is not always about power, location, and keeping you guessing.
And changing up the speed, having the ball come in. What Aubrey's so good at is the ball comes in on different planes all the time.
Hit in the air towards center. Nelson over in front of Bach makes the catch.
That is out number 3.
For the out.
The
Tigers leave 1. That's their first inning. They have not scored. Valley leads Ankeny here on the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Daniel Seifert Real Estate Team.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. I've been helping families here for over 20 years as a realtor, and I know that our schools and community activities are second to none. That's why people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a supporter. If I can help you or anyone you know find the perfect home in Ankeny or the Metro, let's talk.
Hawks come to bat in their half of the third, trailing 5-2. They go back to work against Maddie Zlomke. First pitch is a bunt laid down by Morgan Fisher. It's foul. We'll reset it and go to work here. Fisher, Nelson, and Miller due up for the Hawks. Big inning for Ankeny on that side of the third as they're able to keep Valley to no runs scored, and so give that confidence boost a +1. And that pitch is a strike. Fisher in her last at-bat grounded to short as Moeller made nice plays. Let's see what this pitch is, and this one is swung on and missed.
She's trying to pull this one right now to right field. If you can tell out there in right center, that's where your furthest defender is right now. Everything else is over here. She has shortened up that swing right now. She's trying to get around on it big time and get something out on that right field side.
Up the middle, backhanded by Rose, and that's going to be an infield hit.
An infield single for Fisher.
As Rose had to go across her body.
Avery Nelson.
So Fisher, who we talked about her speed earlier, down at first. So let's see what Avery Nelson can do. She also grounded out to short in her last at-bat. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Ball 1.
Really surprised that Fisher wasn't taking off there on that first pitch. Wouldn't be surprised to see her now get moving there down to second.
Zlomke's pitch is up and in. So I think Valley's thinking that. Nelson's thinking bunt all the time.
Well, you're in the position right now you can sacrifice a couple more outs. We're just sitting here in the bottom of the third. Move some of these base runners on.
The 2-0. Bunt is now shown. Charging in as Ballard. The throw to first in time by a step and a half, and it's out number 1.
Got exactly what you wanted out of that. Now you move on with a runner in scoring position for Miller to come up.
Coming to the plate, third baseman, number 19, Kaylin Miller.
So Nelson makes way for Miller.
Paul, you're a baseball guy, and we won't talk about what team you pull for because they haven't scored. They haven't scored a run in 48 hours.
They gave up scoring for July.
Oh, and they had to do it on ESPN last night, where the regular people, could finally watch again. But you know, it's such a different. As much as it's a similar game, it's a very different game, and that's why I really like the softball aspect of manufacturing runs. You just don't see a whole lot of that in baseball. If you do, it's hitting the ball to the outfield is how you manufacture the runs. But I love the 60 feet bases and how it makes everything happen so quick in the sport of softball.
You do not have time to think. It is all about what you have done thousands of times since you started playing blast ball. That's hit in the air high. Remick comes in 5 steps, makes the grab not deep enough to move the runner. So everybody stays put, and it's 2 away for Sarah Munger.
Valley, just as a well-coached team, the rotation of the infield as that ball got hit out to right center, and you watch Zlomke come over immediately to the third base dugout knowing where the throw would be coming from. You see the rotation from first. You see the rotation from second over there. It's just, you know, ball base backup, back to the very, very basics when you first get started. And they've been through that Tiger softball club. You know, they get taught things the right way. And there's a system in place down at Valley, and they become contenders time and time again.
Munger's first pitch is a swing and a foul. So she's down 0-1 to Zlomke. And that one's off the plate, evens it up. You know, I think about Moneyball, the movie, when the Brad Pitt character playing Billy Bean says, if they want to bunt, fine, give them an out. They're just giving you the out. Take it. That is the difference between baseball and softball that you're referring to, Andy. That off-speed pitch is high, 2-1.
Even, you know, the exit velo and the trajectory is such a big thing anymore in baseball, and it's crept its way down into softball, but you still see, even at the highest levels of softball, you still see those bunts going on the ground. And
that's hit towards Remick. That's going to be playable, and it's going to be an out. So the Hawks score or get the leadoff runner, but aren't able to push anything any further. We've played 3 full, 5-2. This is the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Daniel Seifert Real Estate Team.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Drosh Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to, you know, an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic.
Don't you think? Oh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
We go to the 4th for the Valley Tigers. They lead 5-2 in this CIML matchup.
Valley bats have gone a little bit quiet lately, and you see, just like here, Lensmeyer starting to get ahead in the counts a little bit more, and allows her to go to her junk that she loves to throw. You know, I had a chance to talk with her dad before the game, as you see Coach Bakey so not judicious at all in the use of his timeouts. He will just come out at the first pitch of the inning, and he's got to come out and have a quick conversation. But, you know, I talked to Ryan Lensmeyer earlier, been chatting with him for many years at softball games, and he said he was happy that they had the senior night stuff in between games because the emotions that come along with it, there's just a lot when you've been around through a lot of ups and downs for a player like Aubrey and the 5 seniors that are part of this squad. So having to go through a new coach right before your senior year, just a lot that goes into senior night.
Fouled off to the left side. We'll do it again.
See Lensmeyer again way ahead in the count. See what she goes with. Again, continues to work away. At some point she's going to surprise someone with something right on the knuckles.
That pitch misses. Looming on deck is Mackenzie Moeller.
But if you get her up with an out, you know, you can be very careful with how you pitch to her.
And that one misses again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zlomke in her last at-bat grounded to second. Trying to get on to help herself. And the count goes full.
Yeah, she continues to work away right now, but you don't want to let this number 9 batter go. Got to come right back at her.
Lensmeyer's 3-2 is lifted, headed towards the dugout, and took some paint off the top of that dugout.
Something's up there. I'm not sure what that was.
It might have been paint, could have been.
It was a big chunk came off.
It hit one of those ridges. We're going to have to get roofing repair to that.
Yeah, might have to call Steve again.
Well, it'd make it worth his time.
Yeah, if you're going to be out here working on the press box.
And that's ball 4 outside. So Zlomke's aboard to lead off the 4th inning.
And now that's not how you wanted to lead things off right now. You got her down 0-2 to get started, but just kind of be very careful throwing away from her and eventually lost control here. And this is where Moeller and her 18 home runs on the season was going to look and see her and Kennedy, like I said, have been going back and forth all year long. See who is where. They've each hit a home run now tonight. And she's going to be really, really careful throwing that ball to Moeller right now.
Fiona Stovey running in first base.
So Stovey in to run for Zlomke. The pitch to Moeller is low.
So Moeller has now 18. She is second behind Jordan Kennedy's 20 as of right now tonight, with each of them having another game to play after this one.
The pitch is hit well in the air towards left. Back goes Fisher. She is not going to have a chance. That's the second home run of the game. This time a 2-run shot for Mackenzie Moeller.
Almost identical to the first one. It was kind of a lazy fly ball that just kind of carried. And Moeller, the celebrations at this point seem a little subdued when Moeller hits home runs.
Runs 6 and 7 score for Moeller there on the deep shot to left. That one had less drama to it than the first one she hit. That one was pretty much out the moment it left the bat. But it did carry, and that wind is just dissipated.
What wind? There's none out there.
3 miles an hour at
Is that what it
pitch.
says? Okay, I think we can only tell by the side of the pole that the flag is on right now. That's about the only indication of what our wind might be, because it is honestly just an absolutely gorgeous night here on the south side.
The pitch now to Carrie Rose. She scored 2 runs tonight when she was on base back in the first and in the second. She's batted a lot with the bases empty.
A lot.
Punches it towards third. Miller throws, and it's too late. Rose is already turning around and taking her gloves off after the ball arrived at first.
Well, it's just such a veteran at bat. She's just reading the infield right now about where she wants to place that bunt. She sees Miller playing even with a baseline, and the way it came off her bat, I thought for a second it might be going foul, but it just died right there about 3 feet fair, and Carrie Rose puts Valley in business now again.
Back-to-back hits. Puts a runner back on, and that one's punched to right. Leinen over to second to Heidemann for 1, back to first. Not in time to Hutchins. Ballard will be at first as the fielder's choice.
You don't see a whole lot of 4-6-3 double plays in softball just because of the time it takes to throw from second over to first. You'll see it a lot of times. It's going to be 6 unassisted back to first, but very rarely are you going to see multiple throws to create a double play, and that was about as close as they come.
So Hervé hits it towards right, going back over her shoulder, making the grab is Briley Bach.
Bach runs it down in right field.
Nice play.
Bach might have just saved an in-the-park home run the way that ball was tailing away from her, but made that play beautifully, drifting way out to right field.
Player number 22, Lily Finn.
So Ballard will have to stay at first on the fly ball out. Lily Finn to bat for the Tigers now.
Gonna need another substitution, it looks like. Or they have to have Finn needed to re-enter. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, she was a pinch ran for at her last at bat by Huffman. And so now Finn has to re-enter the game. Joe Havenhill turns around to make the notification towards our general area. The pitch is a strike, but it is not a strike. As he says, Lensmeyer on an illegal pitch.
Had those hands apart, brought them apart before she went into her motion.
Ballard at first, Finn at the plate. The 1-0 is another strike, but this time it counts as a strike on the board.
There's a lot anymore that pitchers can get away with. They've done away with a lot of the different rules in softball that would create an illegal pitch, but the one thing that they are very, very careful about is that you still have to have those hands apart when you step up onto the rubber and still have to pause. I think part of it is just to make things a little bit easier on the umpires as well right now, and less stuff that they have to look for, because you had certain things in illegal pitches that home plate umpires looking for, then you have other things that the base umpires looking for, and now they've really turned it all into pretty much put it on the home plate umpire.
Ballard scooted down to second. She was running on the pitch that was in the dirt, so now she's at second on a 3-1 pitch coming to Lily Finn, who's walked in her first two at-bats, looking for that third pass. She'll have another chance to get that walk as she watches a strike there.
Battling back into the at-bat right now for Lensmeyer.
The pitch from Lensmeyer is off the plate. Finn down to first for the third time and another walk.
That'll bring up the left fielder, number 9, Drew Cooley.
Now you bring up Drew Cooley and her 15 home runs on the season. That's not right, is it? That's got to be off by one. There we go. That's 15 RBIs. Sorry, I thought I read that wrong. I was say she didn't have. I wasn't watching that home run race all year. That'd put her right up in the top 3 or 4.
So you said Jordan Kennedy's had 1 or 2 today?
She's hit 1 more tonight. So her and
has that game gone final?
I have not seen. No, it was 10-0 in the second, 12-0 in the second. So.
Oh, I will tell you about a game here after this pitch. The 1-0 is hit in the air high towards left. Fisher camps under, but coming over to make it is Nelson, who says, I want that camping spot. I'll tell you that story when we come back. Valley gets a couple on a Moeller home run. We go to the bottom of the 4th.
All the pets in Ankeny can't wait to see us at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital. Located just south of Uptown, our family-owned and operated practice has yearly plans with monthly pay options. Your dog or cat can get routine and preventative care before you may ever even know they are sick. From dental care to x-rays to our own pharmacy, we love them like our own. Your pets are our pets at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital.
My real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny Hawks mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. And as a realtor, I know that our schools are one of the main reasons people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a proud supporter. I've been helping Ankeny families for over 20 years, and if you or anyone you know needs help finding the perfect home, let's talk. But first, go Hawks.
We go to work here in the bottom of the 4th. 7-2 Valley.
For the Hawkettes. Number 7, the pitcher, Aubrey Lensmeyer.
I'm looking up a softball score because I want to make sure I have it. I think I know what it, yeah, it was. There was a game, let's see, let's get you caught up to speed what's going on. Aubrey Lensmeyer, Tenley, Heidemann and Autumn Linen do up for Ankeny in their half of the 4th. 7-2, Valley the lead. That pitch is off the plate. Newell Fonda was playing a game against South Central Calhoun last week. Did you see this score?
No, I didn't. Assuming we're going to be talking about a lot of runs.
37-1.
Whoa! Okay, I'm assuming Newell Fonda won that game.
Newell Fonda won that game. Hit in the air towards first, but coming over his second base, Carrie Rose to make the catch, basically in foul territory.
Here's the shortstop, number 20.
You've got to be Newell Fonda had to be the visitors in that situation, or no? Were they the home team?
They were the home team.
Oh wow!
I think. And I looked at the box score, and I think everybody had just 2 at bats, and almost everybody had a hit and an RBI. I mean, it was...
When you're only playing 3.5 at-bats in that because of the 12-run rule after 4. So that's in 3 innings worth of work.
Hit in the air towards left. Back goes Cooley at the wall. Makes the grab right in the shade of the fence in front of the 200 sign. Nice play.
for out number 2.
The Hawkettes have put some really good charges into balls tonight. Just haven't quite carried out, just a little bit short of the warning track power. Linen had one earlier as well up against the fence out in right center.
Linen, who had an RBI sacrifice fly back in the second, helped the Hawks score in that inning. Trying to do some damage here with 2 outs in the fourth on 2 quick outs. And 2 quick pitches are both balls. Lensmeyer out, Heidemann out, Linen at the plate. The pitch coming from Zlomke. And that's going to be right at short, and Moeller makes the grab. 1, 2, 3, go the Hawks. We go to the 5th on the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Daniel Seifert Real Estate Team.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
Team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. I've been helping families here for over 20 years as a realtor, and I know that our schools and community activities are second to none. That's why people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a supporter. If I can help you or anyone you know find the perfect home in Ankeny or the Metro, let's talk. And now it's time to cheer on our kids.
7-7-0 for Valley, 2, 3, and 1 for Ankeny. We go to the top of the 5th. Here's Andy Pollack.
Thanks, Paul. As Aubrey Lensmeyer works her way back into the circle right now, and Ankeny is hung around right now, but very important right now as they go through the bottom part of this order that you don't have a slip up and get back to the top of the order with Moeller coming up again. As Press Remick will lead things off. She's 0 for 2 on the day. You're looking at the 7, 8, and 9 batters, and if any of them get on, then you've got Moeller coming up with 2 home runs already today, and you're into that zone right now with the new rules this year in Iowa high school softball. If you trail by 8 runs in the 5th, when it's done, you lose. So it's more about getting these outs right away and then going back to work on the bats. As Remick digs in, 0 for 2 on the day, the center fielder. Big infield for the Hawkettes here. First pitch in the dirt from Lensmeyer as you see Maddie Myers hopping around. That sun's starting to get a little bit lower in the western sky. Creating some heat here in the press box for us. Paul's got his shades on.
We got the shades on. I can't see.
Top Gun style here in the press box as Remick tosses that one back towards us. Shadow's getting a little bit longer out there, but that sun going to put a cap on a beautiful day. It looks like what's going to be a beautiful week here in central Iowa. We don't get weather with highs just in the 80s, mid-80s a whole lot once you get to mid-July, and we are to that point right now.
We have to have a cool week before we get to Ragbri week.
That's true. But even then, I mean, you look ahead right now, it looks beautiful coming up in the 15-day forecast. And as Remick puts a charge into that one, it gets over the top of Fisher. Remick's got some wheels as she rounds first, heading to second, and Remick will lead off the top of the 5th with a stand-up double.
I think Fisher got caught on that one, not realizing how fast that thing was moving.
It's the same type of thing from a right-handed batter. Now with a left-handed batter hitting it to left field, that ball just kind of slices away from you, and it have some English on it. And not unlike a pool cue, coming off the end of a pool cue, spinning off there is now Hart steps up with a runner in scoring position, watches that first pitch. Actually, it's not Hart anymore. London Rowe watched her play the other night, just an 8th grader, but she is, when she's had the chance with a bat in her hands, has made some noise this year. Pops that one up over here into the Valley fans. A little thunk there. Knock some of our mid-season dust off the bleachers. baseball going on behind us was moving along at a pretty good clip. I haven't peeked out to see what that score is lately. That pitch a little bit low there to Hart, or to Broderick. Broderick in there. Okay, that's not Broderick. That is Rowe, yep. Broderick was on there as number 7 earlier in the season, but this is definitely the 8th grader, London Rowe, and she pops that one up as well, and that's going to drift out over the Valley dugout.
2-2 in the 6th over on baseball.
Okay. That Ankeny baseball team, you know, the start of the year was rough, but man, Coach Ballvance has that crew locked in right now as they head into the postseason, beat several ranked teams on an 8-game win streak last week, including a win over number 1 Cedar Rapids Prairie. He's got them peaking at the right time.
Right. That's what do those coaches say? You want to be playing your best at the end of the season?
I think he might have been able to stomach playing a little bit better earlier in the season, but they're definitely playing good baseball right now as that ball's hacked right up the middle. Good play by Heidemann as she throws it across to Hutchins and gets the first out as Remick scoots on into third base, and that'll bring up the pitcher Zlomke, who has gone the distance so far tonight for the Tigers.
That had a little different bounce to it after it hit past the circle. Good job by Tenley to hold on to that thing before it bounced into center to Nelson.
I thought it was hit hard enough that it was going to sneak through, but Heidemann covered a lot of ground over there at shortstop as the first pitch to Zlomke from Lensmeyer is a strike on the outside corner. Wind has picked up a little bit now, Paul, as we're blowing out to left. Now you're looking at Mackenzie Moeller waiting in the on-deck circle with a stiffer breeze blowing out to left. That ball slapped out into left center field, and that gets over the top of Nelson out in center. Zlomke with a good strong contact. She gets into second base standing up, and a couple stand-up doubles right now for Valley in the top of the 5th.
Good piece of hitting there again, and that one had a lot of juice on it when it got off the bat. Nelson just not much of a chance to hit that one, and that's going to draw a walk out to the circle by Coach Sal.
Yeah, as Coach Sal, I think the discussion's going to be here that you don't want to give anything good to Moeller to hit. You're perfectly content with moving her on to first base. It's open right now. In fact, that might have been you hate to call it a base running error by Zlomke to take second there, but with her on second and an open base at first, definitely would make sense to let Moeller in her 2 home runs today have that open base. Got our organ music tonight. You know, Randy Tomlinson's back in the house on the PA when we get our organ music back at whatever venues we're at. Rodney Tomlinson, sorry, not Randy, Rodney.
Stepping in, number 27, the shortstop, Mackenzie Moeller.
I only see him about 6 times a week right now. I think I could get that right.
Yeah.
As Moeller steps up with a runner on second. And did we get a substitution out there? That's not Zlomke out there running anymore, is it? I don't think it is. I think is that Lillian Stamets?
I broke my little binoculars, and every time this situation comes up, like, I need those things.
Pretty sure that's 21 out there. Stamets missed the substitution during the break. And again, they are not giving Moeller right once again. And Moeller, I haven't heard a whole lot of her in the past, but this year come on now with all her home runs, and she gets to walk again, so she's not getting the walks as much.
That'll bring up second baseman.
In fact, that was just walk number 17 on the season for Moeller.
You know, I was thinking about that today, looking at some of those numbers, and you know, that's a credit. That means she is looking for strikes, and when there is a mistake, she's making the most of it.
Well, when that ball's out over the plate, it doesn't stay in the park for long. With Moeller up to the plate. And Carrie Rose steps up to the plate now with runners on first and second. Gets a hold of that one and slices right over top of the infield. And that's going to load the bases right now coming up for Addie Ballard. And all the home runs that she's got this year. So exactly what you want for your number 3 batter is Ballard steps up with her 7 round trippers.
Third baseman, number 8, Addie Ballard.
4-hit night for Carrie Rose. All of them singles.
That's what she does. Puts the ball right where it needs to be put. Sees the infield. We've seen it on bunts. We've seen her swinging away. First pitch from Ballard is low and away for ball one. And double-digit hits right now for the Tigers here in game one. Stick around in between games. In fact, immediately after the first game, after a quick commercial, we will have our senior night here. Celebrate the 5 seniors for Ankeny High. Lensmeyer, Miller, along with Myers, Fisher. Ball hit to center field, and that's going to be caught by Nelson. She just throws the cutoff, and they decide to go over and try to get the out at third. But a run does come across the score there in the stands. As Ballard does exactly what she wanted to do in that situation.
Number 3, Ilsa Hervey.
And Hervey now steps up to the plate, and she's got a couple runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Be a nice time for a little fly ball here from Lensmeyer. Might have got it. No, it's going to drift out of play. Splats on the sidewalk. Scott Byers over there with his, I don't know how long that lens is. He's got to be able to pick out any detail on an outfielder's face as he's taking pictures out there over on the third base side. A long lens on that thing today. As long as he keeps that away from me, I don't need a close-up.
But he'll find you if you're in the area code.
Yeah, he'll find us anywhere. That ball is away. And now 2-1 the count. Hervey, 1 for 3 tonight. As the hitters count for her now. Way in front of the changeup from Lensmeyer. It's about the most uncomfortable I've seen any Valley batter look tonight. They just stand up there with a lot of ease at the plate. 2-2. Fouls it off. Decided late she wanted to swing at that one, just close enough to make a play on it. In game 1 of our doubleheader tonight is teams will celebrate senior night, get the field reset, and get going about a half hour after game number 1.
Tigers would really like to get one of these 2 runs, if not both. Push that to an 8-run advantage here in the 5th.
Shorten up this game number 1. So right now, this is the most important out of the night right now for the Hawkettes. And up, and Hutchins gives her the big target over at first and gets the out. 9-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Hawkettes will go back to work, try to dig into this Tiger lead here on the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Danielle Seifert Real Estate Team.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Garage Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic, don't you think?
Ugh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. US Cellular, built for us.
Paul, you're up. Back to the Hawkette. Part of the 5th here as they trail 9-2. Part of a double-digit hit night for Valley.
Leading off for the Hawkettes, the catcher, number 29, Madison
Myers. Zlomke's gone the distance so far for the Tigers. You got your binocs out.
Mr. Tomlinson's very kind to.
Oh, you got
Rodney's.
all right.
Rodney's helping out here.
Rodney's always prepared. He's probably got 3 pair of those.
He probably does.
In case he has to pass them out to the blind guys in the press box. Myers puts that right through the 5.5 gap to lead things off with a
Myers rips it through the 5-6 hole.
That leadoff hitter has been big for setting the tone for Ankeny in this contest. And Myers there, you kind of talked about it.
Hey fans, how about it? We've got a quick break here. Your Batgirls, game number 1, Mary Ziegler and Kinley Lensmeyer.
Part of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution for the Hawkettes.
At the plate, number 11, right fielder, Riley Bach.
To run for Myers. Riley Bach, who we saw make a nice defensive play, steps up. She's 0 for 1 on the night, but that leadoff runner is going to allow some things to move a little bit differently right now for the Hawkettes through their offense. Sun's starting to get where the Valley fans, I think, are a little irritated by the angle at the moment. Not a good place to be a visitor when the sun's shining. Bach over to Rose, and Rose boots it as the ball took a hop and it gobbled her up. You don't see Carrie Rose make many, but she didn't attack it. She sat back right at the end and didn't go after that ball. And when it took its hop, when it took its last hop, the first error of the night on the Tigers.
So Myers,
left fielder, number 17,
is able to extend this inning. Again,
Fisher.
you go back to the third when Ankeny, or the second when they scored the runs. It was all about the leadoff, setting the tone.
You got the bunt comes down there, and with a lefty pitcher, Fisher gets to first base, and again shows off that world-class
Fisher picking him
just
up
like
and
that, you got
setting him
bases
down.
loaded for Avery Nelson.
That'll bring up the Hawkettes,
with
center
bases
fielder,
juiced right
number
now.
1,
Nelson trying
Avery
to poke something in the outfield. This is
Nelson.
where your infield's playing in already. That's how they would defend Nelson. I'm not sure you want to do that now with the runner on third. You might just want to concede that and get out at any of the bases, because Nelson can hit the ball pretty hard through this infield, and you just continue on this hit parade. A couple hits and an error have loaded the bases full of Hawkettes here in the bottom of the 5th, and still nobody out. First time we've seen Zlomke really try to go inside on a left-handed batter.
And we're going to have a conference.
Offensive conference right now, and bases juiced.
Nelson has grounded.
Dodge a bunch.
Yes. Nelson has grounded out a couple of times. So I don't know why you want to pitch her much differently than what you have. Like you said, coming in on her on that play, especially knowing what she can do with the bat, that inside pitch can sometimes be a recipe for success.
See how they decide to handle this right now, and you know she's a slapper, and this is a situation where it's not always great to have a slapper up with bases loaded, but you might see her just try to haul off and hit one. It's exactly what she did. They didn't take that big run up like she usually does, and nearly took out a couple fans over there. Just found the only low spot in the fence and rifled it right through.
Well, if any Jaegers were standing over there, we would have been fine. That would have gone well over our head, except for that one, that outlier.
That one Jaeger. We'll call him a Friesman. Right?
Yes, there you go. No, and that's, you know, softball can change quickly with just the speed. I mean, that's why you see the masks worn by these infielders, because this ball can move in a hurry.
Ball slapped out in the outfield, and a diving catch gets away out there in left field, and one run going to come across, and there's going to be a force out. And that could be 2 outs if they throw to second right now. They don't late there, but they got the force out at third. Yes, they did get the force out at third because the ball was dropped. So 1 out, but also scores a run. As some craziness created on the base paths, not caught out in left field. As a good effort out there by Cooley. But he came in, and now Coach Bakey wants to discuss, again, getting a couple more outs with his Valley infield. Cooley made a great effort out there and left. Couldn't quite haul it in, but still got an out of the deal. Would have got the sacrifice run home anyway. As the old cutting board and Tom Bakey make their way back to the dugout.
Out. Puts Fisher at second and Nelson at first, right? Do I have that all sorted out? I mean, that was a lot going on there. Great effort there by Cooley in left field.
With Kalen Miller coming up to the plate, trying to slap something out into right field. Little drop change comes in there for a strike on Miller. That one tails away. Miller took a big jump at that one and held back at the last second to even up the count at 1 apiece. And the Hawkettes aren't thinking sacrifice bunts right now. They're thinking balls to the outfield and score some more runs. Ooh. Right on the very top part of the zone to make it 1-2 on Miller.
Coaches don't want to concede anything at any time, especially this time of year. This game doesn't matter in the standings for, there's a hit.
Yeah, Miller taps it right out there. That's going to bring around a run to score. As Fisher scores from second base, got a good read on it right from the start. Back to a 5-run game as Munger steps up to the plate. We've seen her have some good at-bats tonight as well.
That brings up the designated player, number 8, Sarah Munger.
Now runners at first and second for the Hawkettes, trying to keep this train on the tracks as they put up a crooked number here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch misses inside for Munger, and it's ball 1. Zlomke's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning, and that heat right now is tolerable, but also not something you want to be out there any longer than you have to be in it, as that ball comes in there for a strike. .94 right now. Hawkettes have battled back. They trailed 5-0 after an inning and a half. Things were looking pretty bleak, but got 2 more runs on the scoreboard. That ball gets away, and that's going to advance the runners on as Nelson moves on to third. Miller moves up to second. They trailed 5-0, made it 5-2 after they got the leadoff runner on in the second. And then it was 9-2 heading into the bottom of this inning. They put up a couple more runs. Again, getting that leadoff runner on, Paul.
It's been big, and you think, I mean, Valley had runners at second and third in that last half inning. Run advantage number 8 was at third, 9 was at second, and now all of a sudden you feel like you're clinging to a 5-run lead if you're Valley.
That ball catches the outside corner of the plate on Munger, and it's 2-2. Lost our breeze again. Momentarily had it out of the east. It was blowing the ball out to left. Munger pops that one foul out of play in the opposite field.
Just misses the Valley VIP section out there between the fence and the bullpen area.
Yeah, there's a lot of good places to watch a game here at Ankeny. I'm not sure that's my spot because you're looking through a fence sideways. Good place to get out all your umbrellas, though, and create some shade for yourself. 2-2 to Munger. Slaps that one right to the glove of Mira Hart for out number 2, and that'll keep the runners right where they are. And bring up Aubrey Lensmeyer.
Coming to the plate, number 7, the pitcher, Aubrey
Lensmeyer had 7 or 8 home runs a year ago. She's stuck on 0 right now, and she's still got the power to her. She's battled a couple things this year, but for Aubrey to knock the first one out of the park. (9-4) our score right now, up to 7 hits for the Hawkettes. So that pitch is away from Lensmeyer to make it 2-0.
Lensmeyer with a hit back in the second. Popped up in the fourth. Heidemann had a double back in the inning, so if you get the bat to her, get the line, keep it moving.
2-0 the count to Aubrey. And that's a strike. On that outside shadow.
Temperature did go up a degree. We're at 87. Feels like 91 now. So you're right.
So
it's
it is.
got a little warmer.
Yeah, that sun's at that angle. That we're feeling it on the faces. That's away from Lensmeyer. Now 3-1. Hitters count. Slomke's thrown every pitch so far for the Tigers.
And no action in the bullpen.
Big infield here for Lensmeyer. Swings on that one, hacks it, and that's a fair ball right down the left field line. 2 runs going to come around to score. Lensmeyer in safe at second, a stand-up double. And just like that, it's 9-6.
Great piece of hitting there by the pitcher.
Drops anchor at
that was one of the best
with
contact
2
that I think the
RBI.
Hawkettes have had all day, and that one, Lensmeyer, no doubt. Nice screamer to left.
That'll bring up Lauren Fisher to
Lauren
second
Fisher
base,
will enter to run.
Another Hearts of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution.
At the plate, the
Big inning,
shortstop,
4
number
hits in this
20,
inning for the
Tenley
Hawkettes.
Heidemann.
And now you're back to Tenley Heidemann, who she's been hitting the ball well tonight. A little spark right now in this Hawkette crowd. Heidemann. We talked about her quite a bit, the freshman. 3 home runs on the year. Boy, she can wake everybody up with a big swing right now. And watches 2 strikes here to get down in the count 0-2. And this is where Zlomke's off speed can get a lot of pop flies. Heidemann locks in. 0-2 the count. Way outside. I thought Fisher might have been heading to third. She took a huge hard lead off of second base. 1-2 the count. All popped up in the infield. There it is. And Rose is going to call everybody off and make the play at second base. But
Rose waiting when it
the
comes
Hawkettes
down.
put up a really crooked number here at the bottom of the 5th. 9-6 our score.
Bottom
At
of
the
the
top of the
5th.
6th.
Your new
This year on the
score.
Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Danielle
Tigers,
Seifert Real Estate
9.
Team.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
Real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. I've been helping families here for over 20 years as a realtor, and I know that our schools and community activities are second to none. That's why people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a supporter. If I can help you or anyone you know find the perfect home in Ankeny or the Metro, let's talk. And now it's time to cheer on our kids.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Lily Finn, Drew Cooley, and Press Remick do up for the Tigers, who just surrendered 4 runs. The innings with the Hawkettes have scored today have been
number 22, the DP.
big,
Lily
just not
Finn.
big enough. They got to do it on the defensive end and then go to work here in their half of the at-bat. But it is 9-6 as we go to the 6th. Looks like baseball game 1 is done. Who won the baseball game there? Logan, who was the winner in that baseball game?
Valley.
Valley?
3-2.
Wins 3-2 in baseball. And Valley here leads 9-6 in the softball game 1. Lily Finn, she's walked 3 times. She's ahead 1-0. And now the count's even at a ball and a strike.
I don't feel like she's been up there not swinging the bat.
No, in fact, her last at-bat was the one where it battled back. She, I think, was down, 0-1, and then it was 1-1, 2-1, 3. It was a good at-bat. It's not like they were intentionally trying to walk her like Moeller, who still has hit 2 home runs today. Been on base every time. Moeller, Rose, and Finn have all been on base at their every at-bat.
Myers moves her target out just a little bit too far there. That's exactly where Lensmeyer threw the mitt.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the 6th. The pitch. Bounces in front of the plate. As now the crowd starts to kind of get a little restless after you were setting up for senior activities thinking, oh, we're down. And now both teams committing an error that have led to runs.
Got to get these 7, 8, 9 batters out.
Well hit to left, going back on it, and over her head, and at the fence is Morgan Fisher. Great defensive play.
I lost it right in the pole as Fisher was ready to catch it. I saw her reach over her shoulder to go back and catch it. An outstanding play by the freshman.
I'll bring up the left fielder, number 9, Drew Cooley.
There's a lot of speed in that outfield right now for the Hawkettes.
Cooley 0 for 3. She struck out twice and flied out to center, which means she's going to get a hit. Now off foul by about 2 feet down the right field line.
Yeah, we can't see the lines with the angle that we've got right now on that thick grass.
Yes.
Sun is at the wrong time of day for us to.
It used to be you could paint those things and it would last all season. Here you got to paint that thing every 4 days.
Yeah, we're getting rain even sometimes when we don't need it. Lensmeyer working a little quicker now, getting ahead in the count. This is where I'd like to see her come right back with one of her, keep something in the zone, but keep it off speed.
The pitch to Cooley. Chopper towards third. It's going to go foul. Miller lets it roll once she fields it in foul territory.
That's exactly what she did there. Gave her a little drop change out over the plate. Unless you read that as a hitter right away, you're just going to get a lot of weak contact out of pitches like that.
Again, one of the things you want to do as a pitcher, not give up the solid contact. The pitch. Just off the plate.
Not by much.
Hawkettes will have 7, 8, 9 in their half of the 6th. Right now, they get the strikeout, and there's 2 away for the Tigers.
Yeah, Lensmeyer has everything working right now. And I like how she kept everything in the zone when she got ahead 0-2. She's lost a couple batters tonight when she got up 0-2, 1-2, then tried to keep everything away from them. This time she came back with some of her junk pitches but kept them in the zone. I like that a lot.
Press Remick swings at the first pitch, fouls it into the net. Actually, screen, sorry. Technically, Remick had a nice double in her last at-bat back in the 5th. Struck out twice. 5 strikeouts total for Aubrey Lensmeyer, who now sits at 303 career strikeouts.
She will certainly go down as one of the good ones here at Ankeny High. So a lot of good memories over the years with her pitching.
The 0-2 swung on and missed, and that's the 2nd strikeout of the inning, 6th of the game. Ankeny comes to bat in their half of the 6th, trailing 9-6 on the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Daniel Seifert Real Estate Team.
What if you could create memories that would last a lifetime? That would be pretty cool. Well, Now you can.
All the pets in Ankeny can't wait to see us at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital. Located just south of Uptown, our family-owned and operated practice has yearly plans with monthly pay options. Your dog or cat can get routine and preventative care before you may ever even know they are sick. From dental care to x-rays to our own pharmacy, we love them like our own. Your pets are our pets at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital.
Yep.
Autumn Leinen, Madison Myers, and Briley Bach do up
for the Hawkettes, second baseman.
For Ankeny.
Number 13, Autumn Leinen.
9-10-1 for Valley, 6-8-1 for the Hawkettes.
If you can scratch some production right now, these 7, 8, and 9 batters, the Hawkettes, things are looking pretty bright at that point if you're getting back to the top of the order, which has had some success tonight against Zlomke.
My point earlier that did go a little bit off the rails about close games. I mean, this Valley team beat Ankeny 4-0 back in June on the 16th. And, you know, Ankeny's played close a lot of games. You know, score is not always indicative of how a team plays. And this is, I mean, you can't put, last I checked, they don't let you put moral victories in your
No, that's not on that sheet that the state puts their seedings together with at the end of the year. A very proud program here at Ankeny. A lot of success over the years.
The 1-2 is lifted towards first, going back right in front of the dugout, making the grab is
Hart in the foul territory.
Is Hart, and Leinen is retired.
Here's the catcher, number 29, Madison Myers.
Myers had a hit in her last at-bat. She's 1 of 2. Just getting at-bats for the Hawkettes is kind of big in this game. The way they started, they went 1, 2, 3, had a couple of innings where they, not saying they conceded at-bats, but just didn't quite challenge everything.
Yeah, they've got all their production in 2 innings. That's, you know, kind of that. It's that leadoff batter gets on and kind of gives a spark to everybody.
The 0-1 coming from Zlomke is hit in the air towards right, coming in and making the two-handed grab is Jordan Huffman.
I thought for a second that Huffman might have misjudged that one because I thought it was hit softer than what it was, but it carried a little bit out into her glove and made a nice play on it, covered some ground.
Bach reached on an error. 5th inning to kind of start, put a little more wobble in the train. It led to a 4-run 5th, but here she bats with 2 outs. In the 6th, on game 1 of this doubleheader, as we approach the 7 o'clock hour, in a game that started at 5:06. So ground ball turned over, gets past Hart into right field, and not in time to throw at first. So Bach with the 2 outs.
Bach with the single.
Well, now you sure want to keep this going.
We'll bring up
coming back to the top
number
of the order
17
right now with your
left fielder
leadoff batter
Morgan
in the 7th
Fisher.
with Fisher. That's why I wonder if you might see Bach get a little aggressive here, try to steal second,
which would preserve the at-bat for Fisher. The pitch is in there for a strike, and again, running up on it is the freshman Fisher.
Well, it does one of 2 things. Either get her to second safe, and then you had a chance for Fisher to knock her in, or she's out and you lead off the next inning with Fisher.
Hit in the air towards left. It's going to hang up long enough for Cooley to camp.
Right to Cooley in left field.
Doesn't matter on that strategy. We go to the 7th. Valley leads by 3 on the Ankeny activities. Never built by the Danish.
We go to inning number 7. It's
My real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny Hawks mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. And as a realtor, I know that our schools are one of the main reasons people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a proud supporter. I've been helping Ankeny families for over 20 years, and if you or anyone you know needs help finding the perfect home, let's talk. But first, go Hawks.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic.
Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic.
But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. US Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Of game number 1, as we will honor our 5 seniors immediately following this game before we do the field prep. So stay in your seats at the conclusion of this one as we get into senior night.
So we go to the 7th Valley with the 3-run lead, 9-6. As we see Mara Hart, Maddie Zlomke, and Mackenzie Moeller.
Number 7, London Rowe.
Yeah, Rowe came back in. She's going to take that position over. Hitting right now. Was she listed?
Oh, Rowe for Hart.
Yeah, Rowe for Hart there.
Yeah. I have that card for her. Just didn't take it out of the order. So Rowe, Zlomke. As that one is hit foul and out of play behind us to the right. Which means Moeller's going to get another chance to bat here.
Yep.
So if you like to see home runs, you know, I'm saying stick around.
Well, the fireworks were last week, but Moeller's brought plenty tonight.
That is a ground ball, couple of hops. Miller over to Hutchins.
Miller with a nice pick at third.
I like Miller. I like the way she played that. That's exactly when you watch the youngsters practice those balls over between third and short.
The pitcher, number 12.
You want the third baseman to cut it off short, and if he gets by, it's backed up by the shortstop.
Maddie Zlomke to bat. Double in her last at bat, a walk and a ground out. Looks at a first pitch strike from Aubrey Lensmeyer. Yeah, Lensmeyer gave up 9 runs, but at what point, Andy, do you see in this game as that pitch is bounced up there? Were there points where maybe some runs kind of got away from Ankeny and Valley?
A few, but I mean, there's also, this is a team in Valley that 9 runs is kind of the standard for them. They have had no problems putting up a lot of runs over the course of the 2025 summer.
Yeah, I think they average something about like 6.7, 7 runs a game. I mean, it's not uncommon for them to score a lot of runs. The 1-1 is a strike.
Big infield around here for the Hawkettes, trying to keep everything in front of them.
That one is again chopped on the infield. This time it's Heidemann.
Heidemann plays the big hop for
unfriendly hops, but that was a beautiful hop right up into the mid of Heidemann. She played it well.
Coming to the plate, the shortstop, number 27, Mackenzie Moeller.
Well, she's only had 2 home runs this game, so an off game for Moeller. Crushed them both to left. Let's see. Coach Bakey goes to the back pocket.
Why would he need to talk to her right now?
You know? Yeah. I need John Boy Media to read some lips.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Instagram accounts. I think I've shared a number of those with you over the summer.
Not just you. From a lot of people.
If you're not familiar, it's lip reading. A lot of times it'll be in the Major League Baseball. But there's plenty of...
That's where the best lip reading takes place.
Oh, yeah. There's been some WNBA stuff recently. Pitch 2. Moeller is off the plate.
They're going to continue to try to keep everything away from her. Both their home runs have been to left field.
2 for 2 on the game with a pair of walks. That pitch just misses. But again, off the plate and low. You like a good challenge. Let's see what Lensmeyer does here. Off speed, misses.
She's not getting those corners at all. There's been nights that she will get, you know, a ball and a half off the plate, but tonight it is a true strike zone.
Not an automated balls and strikes.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Did you see the ABS system had a problem at Wimbledon this week?
Oh, really?
They're using the automated
yes,
system?
so they do that a lot in beach volleyball as well.
3-2 now as back-to-back strikes from Lensmeyer. They're running an automated program that if the ball goes past the line, it's out. It's no longer a human. The problem is, yesterday, 3-2 is hitting the air towards right, and they're actually going to get Muller out of the inning. She pops out for the first time.
Will go get it for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers.
So a
in the
clean
top of
inning
the 7th.
for Ankeny.
Wing over the bottom.
A little
It's
dramatics.
9-6.
They need to get some
Valley.
runs here. 3 to tie, 4 to win. We go to the bottom of the 7th here on the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Daniel Seifert Real Estate Team.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Drosh Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic, don't you think?
Ugh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Time for the Ankeny Hawks as they go to the 7th, down 3. They send Avery Nelson,
leading off the top of the
Sarah
7th
Munger. That's
for the
2, 3, and
Hawkettes.
4.
Center fielder, number 1, Avery
Andy, it's been all about the leadoff runner for Ankeny tonight. Let's see what they do here in this first at-bat with Avery Nelson. She singled in her last trip to the plate back in the 5th.
You have no pressure on Avery right now, right? So the innings have gone.
Well, she's already picked up her 100th career hit back there in the 5th.
Infield way in on Avery.
And that one is a called strike.
Interesting, you see Zlomke go up in the zone right now trying to get some pop-ups out of her.
The pitch is hit foul into the screen. We will have senior ceremony in game 2. The regular season finale at home. That one's punched foul again for Ankeny. They'll be on the road in the playoffs.
Ames and then likely Southeast Polk.
No guarantee they get by Ames.
No, Ames has had a really nice season.
Shot, Rose picks it up on a big hop, throws out the lead runner.
Rose makes the play for out number 1.
It's still just, I've been watching softball for
Here's
a lot of years,
third
Paul,
baseman,
and it's still
Miller.
that's a routine play to the second baseman, and how quick the second baseman and Rose there has to get that ball out of her glove and over to first. You've got zero time whatsoever to think about your decision.
Zlomke trying to shut the door down on Ankeny. Kaylin Miller up with 1 out here in the 7th. And hit in the infield. Moeller
knocks it.
And gets the 2nd out.
Yeah, she just picked it up and whipped it over with her strong right arm.
Number 8, Sarah Munger.
It's up to Munger to keep things going here in the 7th for Ankeny. The pitch misses to the outside. Ball 1. The pitch from Zlomke catches the plate. Defense pretty much straight away in the outfields. Regular depth here in the infield for the 4-hitter. Munger, the pitch.
With this really long game number 1, we'll have to see how long our batteries last here in game number 2. The odds that we are able to bring the entire game to you are not good right now, but we'll get as much of it out there to you as possible.
That pitch is fouled away and out of play. And Ankeny's down to their last strike.
Might need Levi to pedal his legs a little bit faster right now to keep all that juiced up over there.
Put the rabbit wheel together, maybe. Hamster wheel. Rabbits don't really generate much electricity. The 2-2 is hit towards left, and that's going to be a 2-out hit here in the 7th. And Munger's aboard.
Munger's found herself on base a couple times tonight.
Up to the senior Lensmeyer, but we're going to have a runner.
Hutchins will come in and run for Munger. I think that's a DP flex situation.
Number 15, Emerson Hutchins at first base.
So Hutchins goes down to first.
At the plate, the pitcher, number 7, Aubrey Lensmeyer.
Another Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. Don't forget, we'll celebrate our 5 seniors here between games. Lensmeyer is one of them.
First pitch to Aubrey as a strike. 2 hits today, 1 in the 2nd and another in the 5th. That was a double. That was a big double back there in the 5th. That one's off the plate.
Zlomke felt like there was a couple innings where she threw a lot. She's only up to 106 pitches here tonight. Felt like there was a couple innings, though, that really drove that pitch count up. For the most part, she's been well in control tonight. Gave up all 6 runs in the combination of the 2nd and 5th innings.
The 1-2 is Ankeny down to their last strike again. The pitch. Hit in the air towards left. Back goes Cooley at the wall. Looks up. Off the wall. And that's going to be a double. And the runners are going to stand at 3rd and 2nd. So now the tying run will come to the plate. And Tenley Heidemann for Ankeny.
Well, I really thought that ball was carrying. I thought Lensmeyer might get her first round tripper of the season. As he turned around and saw Cooley just keep drifting back towards the wall.
So Fisher in the run for Lensmeyer. So Hutchins at 3rd. And Coach Sal not sending Hutchins there on that play. But now you give another chance. Heidemann did have a double back in the 2nd, but she's been over her last 2 plate appearances. Hits that one in the air to left. It's high, it's deep, and it is, are you kidding me, gone?
It is gone!
And we're tied at 9! I don't believe it!
They've chopped at that rock, chopped at that rock, chopped at that rock all night long, and eventually that rock just cracked, and now the Hawkettes have just absolutely electrified this crowd with that home run from Heidemann.
First pitch goes over the left field wall. Holy cow.
We're going to get some free softball at minimum here tonight, Paul. Things are looking up right now for the Hawkettes. Who knows, maybe even sneak one more out here and walk this thing off.
Tom Bakey makes the long walk out for Valley. He's like, all we got to do is get one out. But here's the thing for Valley. Moeller just batted. So now you got to go with Carrie Rose, who's 4 for 4. to start things off.
With her base hit back in
So,
the
Andy, we might only get one game in on the iPad at this rate.
100 hits.
Yeah, this ball game is taking a turn. There were so many times tonight that Ankeny could have been dead in the water, and man, the character of this team to just keep battling back right now. They've got a chance to walk this thing off.
Back to back to back, Hawks down to their last strike, and Heidemann makes them pay on the 3-run homer. The pitch from Zlomke to Autumn Leinen, who's 0 for 3 in the game. So if you're Valley, that's one that you're okay with having the bat right now. You're just trying to get out of this inning. That pitch goes outside from Zlomke.
So we won't have to have any officials coin tosses or anything like that to go to an extra inning in softball. As
ground ball goes over the glove of Moeller and into left field. And just when you think it couldn't go any other odd bounces of that softball, it does. So now the winning run.
Catcher number 29.
This will be a great story from Addie Meyer.
Someday on senior night, she stepped up and found an extra base hit to the outfield to knock off the 4th-rated Valley Tigers.
The pitch to Myers floats in for a strike. 3 runs in here in the 7th. Nelson and Miller both grounded out. And then it was a single by Munger and a double by Lensmeyer and a 3-run homer by Heidemann. Sets us up another crooked number, 9-9 here in the bottom of the 7th. Zlomke's pitch swung on and missed. It gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for Leinen to go anywhere. Oh, did I say foul ball? Okay.
Boy, this would be a huge opportunity here for Myers.
Hits it to right, and it is going to hang up. Oh, not long enough. It goes off the glove at first. The pitch. Lowe gets away, and Leinen's going to go down to second. So now the winning run is at second base for Ankeny. If Ankeny can somehow push that run across, Andy, of their 11 wins, would this be their biggest one if this was number 12?
I don't think it's even close right now, Paul, especially considering the way this game has transpired. It was 9-2 at one point.
Valley was a runner at third from going up 8. Hit in the air towards right. That's going to hang up enough for Huffman to make the catch.
Will make the grab, and that is
the
out
Hawks
number 3.
score 3 to tie it at 9. We're going to the 8th, tied on the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Daniel Seifert Real Estate Team.
My real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny Hawks mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. And as a realtor, I know that our schools are one of the main reasons people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a proud supporter. I've been helping Ankeny families for over 20 years, and if you or anyone you know needs help finding the perfect home, let's talk. But first, go Hawks.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic.
Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
The Tigers, second baseman.
Well, the Tigers will send 2, 3, and 4. This game just got really interesting. Not that it was ever, it's Carrie Rose to bat, Addie Ballard, and then Ilsa Hervey. Andy, we talked, you mentioned it there. Valley was up 7 in this game. They jumped out to an 8-0 lead. And then Ankeny scores 2 in the second, 4 in the fifth. Valley, though, scored 2 in the fourth and the fifth. But it's the 3 in the seventh. I think, what did you say? Blink and Valley has to be wondering what just happened.
That's as soon as it all went off the air. I was kind of wondering what just happened there. As you see the Heidemann step up and have probably the biggest hit of her young career so far. So just a combination of bats hitting the balls at the right time.
Rose leads off with a walk here in the 8th. 2, 3, and 4 for Valley, so that's big. But the problem is Moeller popped out to end the 7th. So Ballard will bat for Ankeny in their half of the 8th. It'll be Bach, Fisher, and Nelson, 9, 1, and 2. Both of these teams set up. The throw down to second is not in time while it's also dropped. You really have to have a good arm behind the plate anymore. It just, everybody is faster.
And everybody's using speed training in the off season. There's so many different places to go, and it's not just a sport where you're just swinging and throwing all the time.
Ballard shows bunt, gets a piece, and Myers goes down. I think she took part of that off a hand.
Yeah, I think
or foot. She's hobbling on the foot there.
Yep.
Her right leg, anyway. As we push to the 2.5-hour mark, or almost 2.5-hour mark on this game.
Yeah, it will be the only, unfortunately, with our equipment situation tonight. The sun's at the right end.
A long time tonight that we're only going to be able to carry this first game. We will carry senior night, but our batteries are about shot right now as they're going to discuss things out in the circle as well. We'll probably be able to bring a couple innings of game number 2, but we'll direct people over to the Ankeny Center, Ankeny Hawkette Game Changer feed to finish things out.
Conference on the mound with Sal. What's she talking about here?
Well, I think at this point it's just more of a situation to give your catcher, Maddie, some time to
walk it
off, shake the cobwebs out a little bit. And I think you're also discussing right now, hey, Rose may score, but you got to keep it to that. You're not going to let that snowball by trying to get her out.
Outfield, throw home, and then let another runner immediately get into second base and be in scoring position. So this is more about minimizing the damage and then getting back on the bats.
How many times have we said, don't let one mistake become 2? Bunt is laid down but foul. So Ballard trying to move up Rose to third. She fouls it off again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's not mistakes, it's just actions in this situation. You're also trying to not make mistakes if you're Ankeny. If you're Valley,
definitely not the time for that.
If you're Valley, you're seeing a golden opportunity here with your leadoff runner at second. That pitch is fouled back into the screen.
This game's had a postseason feel as it's gone on tonight, Paul. It didn't start that way, but, man, as the Hawkettes have just kept hanging around, and before you know it, you're within 3 runs in the 7th. You put those runs up, you equalize things out, and you're playing to knock off the number 4 ranked team in the state.
Lensmeyer's pitch is softly hit. Heidemann holds the runner, throws across to first to get the out. That was probably one of the best defensive plays Ankeny's made all night.
Veteran move there by Heidemann. Able to keep Rose back. The ball was hit hard enough that she was able to look her back and then throw. She didn't have to make a quick decision at all, and that helped a bunch.
It'll be Hervey up to bat here in the top of the 8th. Hutchins and Miller in at the corners. Middle back in their position.
I'm not sure Hervey's the one that you're thinking about bunting with, but we'll see if maybe if they get up in the count from a hitter's perspective, she would.
The 1-1 pitch catches the plate. I think you would call that the shadow of the plate, maybe?
We don't have our buddy calling the game tonight. I only throw that one out when he's calling it.
The 1-2. Hit well towards center, but coming in to make the grab is Avery Nelson.
On the run. 2 down.
Just like that, your runner getting to second base with nobody out seems a lot more manageable now, as they have not been able to move Rose on at all.
Is it? I mean, everybody's asked to put the bunt down in every position, but are there some you usually try not to do that with your 3 and 4 hitters?
I would say most of the time it'd have to be a pretty special situation that you're going to try to get a bunt down with them. And in this situation with an out, I think if there was no outs, you might have been talking about Hervey putting one on the ground, but with 1 out, I think that took that out of the equation.
So now Lily Finn to try to keep things going for the Tigers, and that's a pitch from Lensmeyer. That's a strike. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th.
Going to end up with quite the crowd here watching game number 2 for softball tonight, with the baseball crowd coming over there already into their game number 2. Pretty deep right now.
I told Levi before we came to the park, well, we'll be here a while. We might not be home till about 11 tonight.
Well, like I said, we're going to have to cut her short right now because we're down to about less than a quarter of our battery left right now, and we got a half-hour break between games to keep things afloat as well. So we'll bring senior night, and that'll be it.
Heidemann fields it, throws, gets the out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Ankeny has a chance to walk it off. We'll see what they can do. This is the Ankeny Activities Network, built by the Daniel Seifert Real Estate Team.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic, don't you think?
Oh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
What if you could create memories that would last a lifetime? That would be pretty cool. Well, now you can.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Leading off for the Hawkettes, number 11, the right fielder, Bradley Bach.
Bradley Bach, Morgan Fisher and Avery Nelson due up for Ankeny. 9-1-2. Here's they bat in the bottom of the 8th, tied at 9. The first pitch is a called strike. Zlomke given up 9 runs tonight. They've come in bunches when they've come.
You asked about situations of bunting, Paul. If you get a base runner on here for Ankeny, that's all you're going to see. Like this right now.
It's going to bounce in front of Remick, and
the
leadoff is aboard.
Single.
And I think that's the way Remick had to play that, because if she lays out and that ball goes by her, you're going to watch Bach around the bases and walk this thing off. So she just had to keep that thing in front of her. But now you're going to see this will be bunt fest the rest of the night for the Hawkettes.
Fisher.
So if you know, Fisher's last at-bat, they were kind of pitching, almost daring her to put it down. Let's see what they do here on this one.
You're just trying to get Bach to second. There it is.
First pitch is offered and missed. That pitch was up and out. but Fisher with the strike.
You're in a great part of your order right now to manufacture a run. That's all you need right now to walk this thing off and make a memorable senior night.
Fisher, the freshman, the 0-1. Thinks about the butt, pulls the bat back, pitch in the same spot as the first one was.
Yeah, she's trying to get her popped up.
The 1-1 from is bunted, foul. It landed fair, but Roll had enough backspin on it to go back to the catcher. So now Fisher with 2 strikes. Let's see. How do you feel about the veteran freshman Fisher here, Andy?
I think you let her swing away now. I think you have to. You don't want to risk not moving that runner on. With the infield in, I think the double play's out of the equation.
And she offered at it, strike 3. So the first out of the inning is a strikeout.
Here's the Hawkettes center fielder, number 1.
Well, now I think with
Nelson,
I think you do go back to letting her slap right now. With the infield has to play, think about that runner at second. I think you let Nelson go ahead and put this ball in play.
That pitch is up and in. Ball 1. That is the first strikeout of the game for Zlomke.
Yeah, they've put that ball right where it needed to be. The Hawkettes have always been right around the plate tonight with their
pitch is swung and fouled back by Nelson. As a little bit of haze now starts to settle in as the sun gets behind a thin band of clouds there in the west. Coach Saladino calls timeout. Bach runs down from first.
With a 1-1 count right now, I think they're probably thinking if you get to 2-1, I think we're going to see a hit and run.
Oh,
if you get to a hitter's count, I think that's the discussion right now. That if you get to a 2-1 count right now, you're thinking hit and run and get one on the ground and let Bach cause a big celebration of that Hawkette dugout.
Valley looking to get out of this inning. They're getting to the middle bottom of their order, which has been productive all year. So, Valley, you don't get to 4th ranked.
Yeah, all the way through. There we go. I think now we're going to see a hit and run.
I've been curious, a couple of those placements in an obvious situation where Ankeny wants to do something. Valley's not letting them do it. Sometimes, don't you just want to let them do it? 2-1 is hit in the air towards left. That might get past Remick. It's over her head. Here comes Bach. She's going to touch third. She's rounding home. The throw. No throw. Ankeny completes the comeback. They win 10-9.
Oh, wow. What a night. The comeback, and then Nelson, I mean, just put that exactly in the gap. He saw Bach just slow up a little bit coming around second base just to make sure it wasn't caught. But as soon as that ball hit the ground, Briley Bach, and led things off with Briley Bach's hit in that inning. That made things possible to make that happen. But just production up and down the order tonight. So many big plays from the Hawkettes throughout the course of the evening. You could go back and just a bunch of different moments that the Hawkettes made big plays in this game.
Avery Nelson, the junior, on a 2-1 pitch, hits it to left field over the head of Remick. And that is how it ends. Ankeny comes back to win. They were down 8-0 and 9-2. They were down to their last strike twice in the 7th, scored a 3-run homer on your player of the game, Tenley Heidemann.
Wow, and what a night for her, not just with a bat, but what she did with her spot at shortstop. What she was able to do tonight over there, made some really nice plays, and wow, what a night for Heidemann, the freshman. But she cemented herself into this lineup for years to come right now, Paul.
Ankeny goes and gets their 12th win of the season on this game, and arguably probably their best win of the year. They improved to 12-25. Valley falls to 25-11. There will be a second game, but we will not have that. We'll show you the senior festivities. We'll take a quick break, come back for those festivities, and wrap it up right after this. You're watching the Ankeny Activities Network. Ankeny wins 10-9.
My real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny Hawks mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. And as a realtor, I know that our schools are one of the main reasons people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a proud supporter. I've been helping Ankeny families for over 20 years, and if you or anyone you know needs help finding the perfect home, let's talk. But first, go Hawks.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected.
Which is ironic.
Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic.
But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. US Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Once again, good evening, fans. Welcome to Senior Night as we pause to honor our 5 seniors as well as their parents. First of all, please welcome Aubrey Linsmeyer. Daughter of Brian and Wendy Linsmeyer, Aubrey is a 4-year varsity letter winner. She is closing in on 300 strikeouts, and she got that in game number 1. She also was involved in volleyball and track this year. She was awarded one of the AGSA scholarships for her participation with Ankeny Extreme. She is also an academic award winner, maintaining over a 4.0 GPA throughout her high school career. Aubrey will be attending the University of South Dakota to continue her softball career while majoring in nursing and minoring in psychology. Her advice and message to players: remember, this is a game. It is supposed to be fun. And to not take this time for granted because it goes by so fast. Your senior, number 7, Aubrey Linsmeyer. Next up, please welcome Kaylin Miller, daughter of Corey and Mara. Kaylin is a 3-year varsity letter winner. She was also involved in volleyball and track. This year, she was awarded one of the AGSA scholarships for her participation with Ankeny Extreme. Kaylin is also an academic award winner, maintaining over a 4.0 GPA throughout her high school career. Kaylin will be attending Cole College to continue her softball career while majoring in biology and criminal justice and minoring in chemistry and Spanish. Some of her favorite memories were the extra inning Joaquin Northwest win last year and making it to state the last 2 years. Her advice and message to players is enjoy the time while you're here, live in the moment. Number 19, Kaylin Miller. Our next senior, please welcome Kayla Fox, daughter of Renee and Derek Fox. Kayla is a 3-year letter winner. She also participated in track and field and was in Key Club during her high school career. Kayla will be attending Central Community College in Columbus, Nebraska to continue her softball career and studying criminal justice that will help her become a future police officer. Kayla's favorite memory was at state last year when she was in a room with Brett Vince, Briley Bach, and Tinley Heidemann, and they stayed up until 2 a.m. just talking about everything. Oh yeah, and did we mention they had a game at 6 o'clock they had to be ready for? Kayla's advice for younger Hawkettes: don't try to be someone you're not. Embrace your individuality. Find friends who appreciate you for who you are. Number 22, senior Kayla Fox. Our next senior is Lauren Fisher, daughter of Brian and Sarah Fisher. Lauren is a 3-year varsity letter winner. She also was involved in dance team, track, and studio dance. Lauren has played softball with AGSA and the Hawkette Elite program for the past 11 years. Lauren is also an academic award, maintaining a 4.0 GPA throughout her high school career. Lauren will be attending the University of Northern Iowa to either study education or become a child life specialist. Some of her favorite memories: hitting a home run against Centennial her sophomore season and making it to state the last 2 years. Senior number 24, Lauren Fisher. And our final senior, please welcome Madison Myers, daughter of Anthony and Casey Myers. Madison is a 2-year varsity letter winner. She also participated in basketball and track during her high school career. This year, she was also awarded one of the AGSA scholarships for her participation with Ankeny Extreme. Madison will be attending Grandview University to continue her softball career, along with majoring in nursing. Her favorite memories from her time as a Hawkette: drives to away tournaments when the girls would blast music and play Roboblox. Senior number 29, Madison Myers. Fans, how about it one more time? Let's hear it for your seniors and their parents for all that they have done for the program.
My real estate team knows that sports and extracurricular activities contribute to a well-rounded education. As an Ankeny Hawks mom, I have seen how important they are for success in school and beyond. And as a realtor, I know that our schools are one of the main reasons people love to call Ankeny home, and that's why I am a proud supporter. I've been helping Ankeny families for over 20 years, and if you or anyone you know needs help finding the perfect home, let's talk. But first, go Hawks!